Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the compositional technique of a canon. And canons are nothing new, not by any stretch. They've been used by probably hundreds of composers, if not more, throughout history. And that's because they work so well. So what actually is a canon? Well, a canon is where you have a main melody, such as I've got here, and then you copy this melody or you imitate this melody on another instrument, or in our case another synth, but you bring it in slightly later or a fixed time later. So that could be bringing it in one beat later, or maybe one bar later, or 100 bars later. It's really up to you. So let's go ahead. Let's first listen to this melody and then we'll go ahead and do that and see what it sounds like. So there we go, yeah, nothing too flashy, quite a simple melody. And that actually, can help the canon work more effectively. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's copy this melody here. We're going to copy it down to where it says Canon 1 or another instrument or another kind of synth sound. And then what we want to do is actually stagger the entry. So we want to delay this slightly from the main melody up here. Let's go ahead and rename this as well. So Canon 1. Now let's listen to those two together. So there you go. And now that automatically sounds far more complex, even though it's really just the same melody being played by two different instruments or two different synths. And you may be thinking, well, this sounds kind of really similar to a delay. And you're right, it does sound very similar to a delay. But what we can do with a canon is we can actually extend this out many, many times, which can start to sound a bit muddy if you do that with a delay effects. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's copy this main melody again. We'll copy it down to Canon 2. Let's rename that. Canon 2, and then same again for Canon 3. And rename that to Canon 3. So now we've got this exact same melody. So the main melody, it's been imitated or copied down here onto this second, but slightly different sounding retro synth. One beat later, that one is. And then we've got Canon 2 coming in a beat later than Canon 1. Canon 3 coming in a beat later than Canon 2. So it's all about a staggered entry. And you can see that just here on the left, that they're not coming in at the same time. So let's have a quick listen to see how these sound together. There we go. So, I mean, this is starting to really sound quite complex, and it's not, it's really very easy, right? It's a very simple melody. It's the same melody up here. They're all being played at exactly the same pitch. Nothing, no extra notes, no effects at all. And so that's really one of the main benefits of using canons, is that you don't have to do any real processing to get what is really quite a cool effect, right? Now this is really a very strict canon because we're not changing the pitch at all between the different sort of iterations, or the different times that we hear. So the Canon 1, Canon 2, Canon 3, they're exactly the same pitch. And so if we wanted to actually, switch this up a little bit, you could actually change the pitch or the octave up or down, or you could change the interval to sort of suit your needs. So maybe that's another video. But now one thing we can do with this, so a really common kind of canon is called a round. So this is, nursery rhymes like Frere Jacques, row, row, row your boat, another good example. And they're called rounds because the melody and the canons just go round and round and round. So you hear them again and again and again. So let's have a quick listen to that. We'll just do it twice through. So we'll repeat the main melody, then we'll repeat Canon 1, then Canon 2, and then Canon 3. So we've got a doubling up, right? I'm just going to change the color so we can hear, so we can see that. Right, so let's have a quick listen to this. So this is a round, which is a kind of canon where it goes round and round. And we could keep that going for a long time, as some of those nursery rhymes I mentioned do. Okay, so the next kind of canon, which sort of follows on from this, really is called a accompanied canon. And if anybody is watching who listens to classical music, Pachelbel's canon is probably the most famous example of this. And so that's the same kind of thing where we have this round kind of idea, and although it does change slightly in Pachelbel's canon, we have this same idea of these repeating canons, these repeating main melody, but it's accompanied by some chords and a bass line and that kind of thing. So let's have a quick listen to how that would sound. And there we go. And so I think you can really see and hear how, this really very, very simple melody, this simple idea here, we've not really done anything. We've just copied and, imitated on different instruments, which in our case is different synth sounds, but maybe historically would have been, different instruments, flutes, violins and such. And yeah, we've really just copied things out. It's really, if anything, efficient, right? But yeah, hopefully this gives you a good idea as to how this can sound. And yeah, let's have a quick listen to it again. I added some drums in. Cool. So, hopefully that gives you a good idea as to how you could use this in one of your compositions or something you're producing. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button to get notified. And any comments, or if you want a little bit of help with anything, drop me a comment in one of the feeds and I'll see if I can get back to you. And as always, thanks for watching.